Bruny Island's quite a large island that lies off the southeast coast of Tasmania. It's actually two islands joined by a narrow sand neck. The southern portion of the island is well forested, has rainforests, has large hills that some people call mountains. The northern island is much lower relief and much drier. It has a rainfall, it borders on drought conditions at times, so the environments are very different. The island has also a long cultural history. It's been occupied by Aboriginal people in Tasmania for many tens of thousands of years, and there are still many memories and echoes of their occupation of the land. It was originally settled by whalers and sealers and farmers, and now its main activity is tourism and holiday making. Bruny Island is fairly typical of rural communities in Australia in that they grew up on a resource exploitation basis, forestry, mining, farming and fishing. And in recent years, those resources have lost a lot of their value, and farming has declined, mining has disappeared altogether. Forestry is just a remnant of what it used to be. We have a number of threatened species on the island, and most of the threatened species habitat is actually on private land. 40-spotted pardalote is one of the most threatened bird species in Tasmania. It's endemic to Tasmania and is isolated to the southeast. Bruny Island is the hotspot, if you like, of its habitat, and there are real fears for its future. The swift parrot, which is a migratory species, it feeds in the winter in the river red gums and the yellow box forests of northern Victoria. It migrates to Tasmania in the summer and feeds on the blue gums, the Tasmanian blue gum, and breeds while it is down here. The numbers have dropped dramatically, and in particular the loss of blue gum have made it very, very difficult for this bird to survive, because it's not sedentary, it moves very quickly over large distances, and it needs habitat in a large number of areas. And Bruny Island again is a hotspot for its survival. The Bruny Island Environment Network is a community-based organisation on Bruny Island, and our aim is to increase the awareness of and the appreciation and protection of the natural environment of Bruny Island and the surrounding waters. One of the things that BN has been able to do is work with the Caring for Country project, and that's our main role in that has been to create a liaison or a link between the project itself and local landholders, and the lessons we've learned from that have been spread much wider.
The Caring for Our Country project came about as a partnership between the Understorey network and the Bruny Island Environment Network to support farmers on Bruny Island to conserve threatened species habitat on their farms. We did this by engaging natural resource planning to come in and do assessments of the natural resources, threatened species habitat, biodiversity values, as well as threats that were present on each of the farms, from which they were then able to develop a series of maps and a property management plan for each farm. The Understorey Network's role in the project has been to coordinate it, liaising with the different project partners, as well as engaging the community in activities such as seed collecting workshops and plant propagation workshops, which has given the locals some really good skills in how they can do their bit to grow their own native plants to increase the area of habitat.
The Caring for Country project is really interesting to me for our property because it's an idea that has production of the farm as one outcome, and the care, restoration or rehab of the property and its environment on the other hand. For those two things together, I think make it valuable for me as a farmer to keep the farm sustainable for future generations. The farm's been run as a sheep grazing enterprise for quite some years. We intend to keep running sheep, primarily for prime land. The mapping that has been provided through this grant project is invaluable for me on the ground to be able to measure distances and areas, and rather than just approximating things, being precise tools to work on the ground with.
We've also been able to access different expertise through the program and learn some new skills. Today we had a demonstration of the mapping computer program, so that's going to be a new thing for us. And also we've learnt how to collect seed and propagate seed from our own land. We've learnt some of the species that are around, some of the different conservation values, so that's been a real plus for us.
The main aim of the farm at the moment is wool, so we're running around about 17.5 micron wool. We're into sort of conservation at the moment, so we're planting a lot of trees on the property. We're redoing the pastures on the property. We've got to basically run a viable enterprise over the whole process, and my role is to tie all these things together. So I need to be able to. I've done a plan with the owners. So we've gone through paddock by paddock. We've worked out what needs to be done, fences, the water, what needs to be done in the pastures. What we're in the process of doing now is putting all this together, correlating it, so we know where to start. So when we sit down with a budget, we know what we can afford to do through a year. It's prioritised.